All right, so radio identification chip in the key fob, brake. So the Chevy Volt.
And it looks
So
like
this shows different configurations.
batteries in a T-shape, in between us and under the back seat, right?
Correct.
That's right.
Okay.
So this shows energy flows, touch screen. These are all touch. So you can charge this car at 120 volt in 8 hours, or you can use 240 volt, 3.5 to 4 hours.
Okay.
This shows electric only right now, but as you know, the internal, it's always an electric car. Electrons always turning the wheels in this car, and it's all based on range here. There is the internal combustion engine, the small one that kicks in. It runs the generator, charges the battery runs the electric motor runs the wheels. So you always have the performance of an electric car. Even at 70, highway speeds, you can still have the acceleration. So the performance is always there.
And we've just eliminated the range anxieties, the key feature here with the
That's right.
small engine.
So right now we're looking at an equivalent in miles per gallon of 250 plus. That's what that's showing you right there. Now this will decrease as the internal combustion engine kicks on and it's on board, generating electricity on board the vehicle and still consuming the electricity. That'll come on down. And would average out over time. But this is a great car. So as we go in reverse, you have a camera in the back that's dynamic, so it shows the reverse flow here and where you're going to go.
Based on where your wheels are.
That's right. And one other option I wanted to show you on this, that's the parking brake.
Nice simple finger pull.
So the parking brake actually is overridden. You put it in gear and you start off, you'll feel it hold and then go.
Yeah.
So that actually takes care of the parking brakes. You don't have to worry about driving.
The knob overtakes the parking brake.
That's right.
Okay.
The car itself, so it just kind of overrides it electronically. That way you're not going down the road and hit the parking brake and have some challenge there. But as we go here, we've got about 2 miles of range left, optimized at 40 miles, electric car, and then it turns into a different car. So it turns into a hybrid, a plug-in hybrid after that 40-mile.
And you just been
initial
driving it a
range.
good bit this morning. We're one of the
That's
last
right.
test drives of the morning.
That's right.
But it looks like, so you're seeing what looks like a vertical battery over there, and it's goes the top and the bottom.
Right.
You just put it down and it feels
So that's
nice, solid acceleration.
and it continues to climb that way. So I don't want to get a ticket, but it continues to go up, and these cars do have governors. I think Nissan has suggested somewhere around 90 miles an hour, and I think General Motors has put one around 100 miles an hour on this car.
Well, and as people learn about EVs, they may have worries about, am I going to be able to merge in traffic? And pretty much the folks that know about how an electric vehicle works knows that's not a problem. But once people get in a car, they'll figure that out pretty quickly, that they shouldn't have any problems getting into traffic.
That's right. Now, these are real cars. They're not golf carts.
Yeah.
And, they're exciting cars. And this is these are nice cars. They have, bells and whistles beyond some of your standard or your average cars that you might see. So, lightweight manufactured technologies for the cars, improved vehicle efficiencies, obviously using the lithium-ion battery chemistries in the new line of cars that are coming out. So, technology advancements have really allowed this new line of cars to be, more consumer friendly than in the past, from vehicle performance and, overall affordability. Ultimately, the cost of fueling this car is somewhere around 25% of what standard petroleum would be using electricity. So, it's a big deal. That's a big savings. If everybody's saving 75 cents a dollar that they spend today, regional economic health is improved. Reduced emissions, net emissions using electricity.
Certainly, like we're going to have in Tennessee with solar recharging, the emissions reduction even goes further.
Absolutely.
And we're going to be one of the first states that has a lot of these.
Yep. So we'll have a report card, and consumers will have options here that in other places may have some challenges initially for the first several years. So, getting the word out that these are real cars and having these ride and drive events, looking at the TVA Smart Station and the different technologies from the smart grid perspective, how that's developing, and then obviously the EV project in the region. A lot of activity in this space, so really exciting.
How fast have you driven this car, James?
Speed limit.
Speed limit. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
This is a test car, so we are testing different driving profiles and working to develop those. Over time here. I'll turn around. We're getting down to about 1 mile range in the battery electric. So we've gone is all electric, and just gonna turn around here. This windshields are fogging up a little bit, so.
So what is this? Is this green ball?
That's
It's a pie chart.
Efficiency.
Okay.
And it's all green right now because it's been all electric.
But that may change here in a minute.
Yeah, the gasoline is shown on this display in blue.
Okay.
So as the gasoline engine kicks on, you're not getting direct RPMs because it's always electricity running the car. But what you did is this blended average. So, the Environmental Protection Agency came out with a rating for this vehicle, and they used miles per gallon.
Right.
I think it's a little challenging for consumers to understand that, this is an electric car, and then it's a different kind of car, a different hybrid.
Right.
So it's hard to put a rating on it and still using the standard miles per gallon rating, but it's not gallons of electricity, it's kilowatt hours.
So this is just a visual way to see that blended mode.
That's right. So if you wanted to see back over on the power flow, you see the energy coming out of the battery and going to the cars.
And there goes the battery.
There goes the battery. Okay, you see the internal combustion engine kick on. The little icon shows up here. We have regenerative braking because I've decreased here, and then energy going into the generator there, into the battery's side.
So what will our ball look like now?
It's going to come into blue.
So it's like a pie chart, but
Right.
it's an orb.
That's right.
Okay.
So the display, General Motors has done a good job with this vehicle, designing it.
Now, 250 plus miles per gallon is telling us potential, but this is saying it looks like 3,200 miles that this car has gone. Its average is 39.5.
We've got a lot of highway miles, so this car actually was driven from Washington, D.C.
Okay,
down to Tennessee, and then we've taken it across the state several times, from Knoxville to Memphis 3 times. So a lot of highway miles that we've shown here, and that you don't have your charge times in between, so you do have a lower average right now.
So city driver, that number would go up, but even for you that's put a lot of highway miles on, you're still getting 40 miles per gallon.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, if you've got a 40-mile commute, a 50-mile commute, this is a great car.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot higher number than that, because you're going to be, if you're recharging every night,
all
you're
electric.
Gonna be all electric.
Yeah, all electric all the time. So they've put a pressurized gas tank on here. So the gas tank, you fill it up. It's only 9.3 gallon tank.
Right.
And you fill up the tank and then put it on there. It slowly pressurizes as you go, and that's to help moisture stay out of the gas tank. So, a lot of drivers will not use gas. It'll be an electric car all the time based on their commuting.
Huh.
So.
Oh, to keep moisture out of the tank, because a lot of people won't ever have gas in it, to keep something else from getting in there.
That's right.
I see. Well, everything seems to work pretty well. You've used the controls pretty quickly. There's a lot of little buttons here, so probably a new user probably needs to take a little time to get used to where those buttons are.
Yeah, it's recommended that everybody reads the manual on these new cars.
Sure.
But
now, what are the A and B on your?
It's just trips, just like
it's just a
resetting
trip
the
meter.
odometer.
I see.
Right.
Okay. Now, is that a fuel tank it's showing off to the right with 170 miles next to it?
Yeah, gasoline tank. It's the range.
That's the fullness of the gas tank.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it feels really solid. Drove smooth, even with you breaking the speed barrier. I mean, accelerating.
So we can go ahead and keep filming if you'd like. We'll pull into the parking space here and go ahead and do a charge cycle. Turn the car off and then plug it in. So it's on this side. Plug it in?
No.
Yep, absolutely. Just go in front on the other side there.
And as you'll see from the charger, correct me if I'm wrong, James, here, but these two are communication portals.
Uh-huh.
And then these are the other power portals. This is level 2, 220, 240 charging.
Right.
And when you plug it in, you just
The car will beep.
hear a little click. And that means it's connected. Now, it has to go through a little communications protocol before it starts charging.
That's right. This car beeps and then the light comes on to show you that it is charging indeed.
James Ellis, thank you.